Welcome to United Report, your ultimate source for everything Manchester United. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, we've got you covered with all the updates, transfers, and match highlights you need. If you're a true Red Devil, this is your home. Hit that subscribe button and let's dive into the world of United together. Luke Shaw has suffered a fresh setback in his injury-hit Manchester United career. The left-back arrived at Old Trafford as a highly rated youngster in 2014, with United splashing out £30 million on the Southampton defender to make him the world's most expensive teenager. Shaw has shown world-class ability for United and England, but his biggest challenge has been staying injury-free. The first significant injury of Shaw's career was the fractured tibia and fibula he suffered in his second season at the club. While the 29-year-old has enjoyed sustained periods of fitness since then, his career has been dogged by persistent injury issues. Shaw has only made 3 appearances this season, but seemed to be nearing a comeback in time to compete with new signing Patrick Dorgu. However, he faces another spell on the sidelines due to a setback in his recovery, potentially adding to his dismal injury record at United. According to Transfermarkt, Shaw has suffered 29 injuries during his time at United and spent a remarkable 1,606 days out injured. This has seen Shaw ruled out for 221 United games, which is close to matching his 278 total appearances for the club. In his debut season, a combination of hamstring and ankle injuries saw Shaw ruled out for 15 games. The worst was still to come though, as Shaw suffered a double leg fracture against PSV Eindhoven in September 2015 and did not return until the following August, missing 51 games in total. He struggled for fitness during Jose Mourinho's reign, missing 17 games as United won a League Cup and Europa League double in 2017 before sustaining a 7-month foot injury. Shaw suffered reoccurring hamstring injuries once Ole Gunnar Solskjaer took over, but was a first-team regular during his time in charge. The 29-year-old's fortune continued at the start of Erik ten Hag's tenure, making 47 appearances and signing a new contract in December 2022. However, a muscle injury saw him miss 34 games last season, and Shaw is 4 games shy of that total so far this term. Despite Shaw largely being unavailable under new boss Ruben Amorim, the United coach has insisted that he saw the England star as a key part of his plans. Shaw could thrive as a left centre-back in Amorim's system and has also occasionally played wing-back. Sometimes, when you have 1 or 2 injuries, it's really hard to recover, Amorim told Amazon Prime Video. If he continues with this behaviour, doing everything he can, I will be here. All the staff will be here, as long as it takes. We believe a lot in him. He's so important for our team. For the future, I see in this team, Luke is a very important player for us. Shaw's injury issues led United to sign Lecce wing-back Dorgu for an initial £25 million in the January window. Before Dorgu's arrival, Diogo Dalot and Noussair Mazraoui were among those asked to fill in at left wing-back. Ruben Amorim has been urged by Rio Ferdinand to bring Paul Pogba back to Manchester United to allow him to train until his football ban is lifted. The 31-year-old has been out of action since the 2022-23 campaign, which was curtailed by injury before a 4-year suspension from the sport was enforced due to a failed drugs test. After pleading his innocence, the former Man United midfielder saw his sentence reduced to 18 months. I'd say to Pogba, "Come in and train with us, let me see what you've got." I'd do that. I would have done that already. "Come in and get fit," the former defender said via his own YouTube channel. Pogba can do as much training as he likes, but the fact still remains he is without a club to play for as he left Old Trafford in 2022, then Juventus would release him upon learning of his ban. Following a quiet transfer deadline day, Ferdinand suggested perhaps the midfielder training with his former squad could prompt Amorim to offer a return. "I'd also have a look if he's in a position to be re-signed," he added. Being a free agent, the player is not confined to move only during transfer windows, the latest of which closed on Monday night. As things stand, Pogba has not accepted any offers a return to football. He has himself hinted that he wishes to return to the highest possible level in Europe. There are proposals, some of which are interesting, and some not so much. Russia and so on, there were proposals. But that is not the goal. We have other goals. A club that plays in the Champions League? Why not? If it comes, of course, why not? We always want to join the best clubs. After that, it doesn't depend on me. It depends on many other things. However, most recently he has appeared to flirt with David Beckham, owner of MLS franchise Inter Miami, over joining the MLS club. Manchester United could be in line for a stunning summer transfer window as Ruben Amorim eyes a massive rebuild. The Red Devils have endured a miserable season so far and sit 13th in the Premier League table. Fans were hopeful that the January transfer window would have given the side fresh impetus, but only 2 players were signed, Patrick Dorgu and Aiden Heaven from Lecce and Arsenal respectively. United Chiefs have preferred to keep the purse strings tight this winter, ahead of a potential splurge in the summer as Amorim embarks on his first full season. And there are already a few positions where the Portuguese coach is keen to strengthen. That includes both at centre-back and in United's attack. With that being said, Mirror Football has decided to take a look at the potential starting 11 that Amorim could pick on the first day of next season. Despite having a mistake in him, former Inter Milan goalkeeper Andre Onana appears sure to be United's number 1 for the foreseeable future, but there could potentially be changes in front of him. Dorgu should be drafted in at left-back following his £25 million switch from Lecce. He could potentially be joined by another new signing on the opposite flank. Despite Noussair Mazraoui's impressive debut season, Sporting Lisbon star Giovanni Quenda has been strongly linked with a switch to Old Trafford and would be a perfect candidate for the right wing-back role. There could also be a slight tweak in the heart of defence, with Lisandro Martinez looking likely to be ruled out for the rest of the calendar year. Jared Branthwaite is a long-term target of the Red Devils, and a move could be revived should United want a replacement for their injured defender. He would assemble an excellent backline alongside Lenny Yoro and Matthijs de Ligt. Moving into midfield, ex-Sporting Lisbon midfielder Manuel Ugarte should retain his place. Atalanta and Brazil midfielder Ederson has been rumoured to be a contender to replace Casemiro, so could claim a role in United's midfield. Current captain Bruno Fernandes would round off an impressive midfield, but it's in attack where United's new look X is the most exciting. Having recently signed a new deal to stay with United, Amad looks to be a key cog in the club's future. And one man who that could also be true of is Swedish forward Viktor Gyökeres. The Sporting Lisbon star has been linked with United ever since Amorim made the move to Old Trafford. Serious competition from Premier League rivals could potentially put a deal in doubt, but Gyökeres would be a stunning addition to the United squad under his former boss. Potential Man Uti X Onana, Dorgu, De Ligt, Branthwaite, Yoro, Quenda, Ugarte, Ederson, Fernandes, Amad, Gyökeres. After turning down the chance to join Tottenham Hotspur as recently as Friday, few would have anticipated Mathys Tel arriving at the club's Hotspur Way training ground on deadline day. But after an image of him and his agent aboard a private jet went viral shortly after 2 p.m, on Monday afternoon, it looked as though the deal had been revived, much to the frustration and disappointment of many Manchester United supporters. As reported by the United Report News on Sunday, Tel, alongside Chelsea ace Christopher Nkunku, was being considered by the Reds as an option to strengthen their attacking options ahead of the window slamming shut. Following their decisions to allow Marcus Rashford, Ethan Wheatley and Antony on loan, United had left themselves incredibly short on attacking options. Supporters woke up on Monday morning dreaming of about a deadline day swoop for a striker. However, it was confirmed by the Manchester Evening News just over 4 hours ahead of the window closing at 11 p.m. that United would not be adding to the additions of Aiden Heaven and Patrick Dorgu, with the club looking ahead to the summer window instead. Naturally, United supporters vented their understandable frustrations at the club's hierarchy for failing to bring in a striker that head coach Ruben Amorim is so desperately in need of. It now means the Portuguese chief must make do with Rasmus Højlund, who is without a goal in 13 matches, and Joshua Zirkzee, who has 1 goal in his last 16 games, until the summer. Netting 1 goal in their last 29 appearances combined, United fans can be forgiven for wondering where the goals are going to come from. United spent a combined total of £108.5 million on Højlund and Xerxes in back-to-back summer windows. Højlund arrived as a raw 20-year-old, and Xerxes was signed 11 months later with a profile that did not resemble that of the seasoned goalscorer United needed. As a result of gambling more than £100 million on two players that have so far proven they are not good enough to spearhead United's attack, the Reds would have repeated that gamble, albeit on a lesser financial scale, had they have swooped for Tell. The 19-year-old has not scored a single goal this season and has previously suggested he is not an out-and-out striker, admitting in November 2023 that he is somewhere between a number 9 and a left winger. As high as Tell's ceiling is considered to be, United would have been paying a loan fee based on potential, not pedigree. It has been reported elsewhere that United considered the £5 million loan fee Bayern wanted to be too high. United may have been able to get a tune out of Tell and see him score the goals they are in need of, but they were in a position where they could not afford to take yet another gamble on an unproven striker. Tell has contributed just 1 assist in 14 matches for Bayern this season, last scoring in May. He has found the back of the net just twice since the beginning of April. Of course, if Tell hits the ground running at Tottenham and scores a few goals, questions will inevitably be asked of United for allowing the opportunity to borrow the Frenchman for the second half of the season to slip through their fingers. However, the recent gambles they have taken on Højlund and Xerxes mean that the next striker they sign has to be one with a proven goal-scoring record that can come in, rely on his experience and hit the ground running.